Hello, and welcome to the channel. Today, we re-diving into the life of a man who may be the most fascinating villain you've ever heard of. Oda Nobunaga. Born in 1534 in Owari province, Nobunaga wasn't your typical Japanese prince. Oh no. While other kids trained with swords and studied poetry, Nobunaga was known as the Fool of Owari. You see, he was wild, impulsive, and couldn't care less about courtly manners. At 16, he even shaved his head in protest against the rigid customs of the time. Talk about a rebel. 1551, everything changed. Oda Nobunaga inherited the leadership of Owari at a turbulent time in Japanese history. Feudal lords known as daimyo constantly battled for power, and the country was in chaos. But while others saw problems, Nobunaga saw opportunities. And boy, did he take advantage of them. Through cunning alliances and outright warfare, he expanded his territory and influence. But he wasn't just interested in land. Nobunaga wanted to shake up the entire country. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Nobunaga was fascinated by the new firearms brought to Japan by Portuguese traders. Back then, Japanese warriors relied on bows and arrows and swords. But Nobunaga saw the potential of these clunky rifles, while other feudal lords sneered at the arquebus, calling them dishonorable toys. Nobunaga invested in training soldiers to use them. This led to some pretty intense battles. Take the Battle of Nagashino in 1575. The enemy army was 10 times larger than Nobunaga's, but they had no idea what hit them. When the Oda arquebusiers fired in volley after volley, it was like a storm of lead. The enemy ranks were decimated. This victory didn't just make Nobunaga famous. It changed the face of warfare in Japan forever. Swords were suddenly old school. But let's not forget, Nobunaga wasn't just a military genius. He was also a ruthless leader. He wasn't afraid to burn monasteries to the ground, killing thousands of monks who opposed him. Some people saw him as a monster, but others saw him as a hero cleaning up the old ways. He even clashed with the mighty warrior monks of the Enryakuji temple, considered sacred by the people. Nobunaga wasn't backing down. In 1571, he launched a massive attack, burning the mountain monastery to the ground. It was a devastating blow to Japan's religious establishment. His enemies weren't just religious figures. Powerful feudal lords also tried to stop him, but Nobunaga crushed them all. By 1582, he controlled most of central Japan. The country was on the verge of being unified for the first time in centuries. And here's where things get really dark. On June 1582, Oda Nobunaga was betrayed by one of his top generals, Akechi Mitsuhide. During a battle in the mountains, Mitsuhide turned on Nobunaga, surrounding his headquarters. Nobunaga, along with his chief advisor, were forced to commit seppuku, a form of ritual suicide. Mitsuhide had taken his revenge for the death of his father, who died in the siege of the previous year. But in the end, it didn't matter. Despite his death, Nobunaga's dream of a unified Japan survived. His successors would go on to finish the job. So who was Oda Nobunaga? Was he a visionary who dragged Japan into the modern era? A ruthless tyrant who crushed anyone who opposed him? Or maybe he was a necessary evil, a radical surgeon who had to cut deep to save the nation. As you ponder that, remember Oda Nobunaga's restless spirit still echoes in Japan, a haunting reminder that progress often demands sacrifice. Well, that's a wrap, folks. Hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour through the life of Oda Nobunaga. Remember, history isn't just about dates and battles. It's about the unforgettable people who shaped our world. If you're as passionate about history as I am, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more captivating stories from the past, and ring that bell to never miss an exciting new release. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, stay curious, stay thirsty for knowledge, and remember, the past is never truly gone. It's always with us. See ya.